Hi, I'm Ryan of MidNite Solar. Today I'm going to show you the mode menu in the classic charge controller. To do this, we need to go to the main menu. If you're not already at the charge menu from the previous video, you can keep pressing the main menu to get to the charge menu. You may come to Wizard or Folder Firmware, scroll to the right to Mode, press Enter. On this classic, we're in solar mode and the mode is on. Something unique to the classic most charge controllers don't have is a software on and off. So if you do not have a PV breaker per se, this is a software on and off. We can turn it off. You just turn the relay click off. It's not charging now. We can turn it back on. The relay will click on. You'll start charging again. We'll go over here to solar and we'll show you the other modes. We'll start at the very top, hydro mode. There's a setup button, allows you to program the different parameters of hydro. Hydro is a pretty in-depth mode. I'm not going to go into the parameters here on hydro mode. Refer to the videos about setting up hydro mode or refer to the manual or contact tech support. Go back over. We'll go down to solar mode. Solar is pretty straightforward. The only setup in it is the sweep interval. You can change the interval and what it will do, a complete sweep on the PV array. Push enter to save that value. Legacy P&O. Legacy P&O is more of a, it's a slower tracking. It takes about 3 times as long to track the array. It also does, it parks there. When it does do a sweep, it will find the voltage at which it's happy. It will park there for the duration that you told it to park there. And upon the duration of that timer, it will do another sweep and park there again. It's similar to some of the stuff the older MPPT charge controllers did. It's kind of unique. It works well for hydro and some other DC inputs or really low voltage PV arrays. If you've got an old C40 trace charge controller and you're going to swap it out for a classic, chances are the array is low voltage compared to the battery. You'll probably want to use legacy mode. Again, the only setting is the time between sweeps and the depth of the sweep in watts. All these are covered in the manual. Again, we won't go into a lot of detail. I just want to show you how to navigate the menu and what the different modes are. Wind track, definitely not going to spend a lot of time on wind track, but this is where you would enter your graph. There's presets like a radio in your car that you can program your own graphs in. There's also pre-programmed curves, like this one here is for Berge XL1 on a 48 volt battery. There'll be a whole video on wind curves, clippers, setting the wind curves. Please refer to that or the manual. Dynamic is it's a dynamic tracking. It doesn't do a sweep. It's constantly sweeping. It's a little bit different than solar mode. We found it not to be quite as efficient as solar mode, but again, it can be useful for other devices, maybe not necessarily solar panels, but something else you may try. Setup, the only option it has is sweep interval. And you set VOC. Basically what this does, it lets you set a percentage of the VOC. The classic will park there. It'll park there at the percentage you select, and it'll park there for the time you select, and it'll do a new sweep, acquire a new VOC, and park there for the duration of that time. This is more of a testing, if you will, or maybe something for a fuel cell. Kind of a useful mode for stuff like that. Probably something you wouldn't use for solar. And that is the end of the main menu. We're going to go back up and put this back in solar mode. See if we can fill these batteries back up. Turn the mode on. Anytime you change the mode, when you're done programming, you need to set the mode to on. And a very important step is to always press enter. If you don't press enter and the classic does reboot, it will revert to off. Then what will happen is you'll see resting down here on the screen instead of bulk MPPT. That's one that we get quite often. People miss the step of pushing enter. So that concludes the mode menu of the classic charge controller. This has been Ryan, MidNite Solar.